Today is all about what's happening with all of these deep fake videos and all that jazz. And was that really Tom Cruise on TikTok? All right, so setting the scene, right? So let's go back a few years, maybe more than a few years, to all the scams that took place with Photoshop. So when Photoshop came out, and kind of knockoffs around that sort of manipulation of the still image, people were blown away when they saw stills of, Arnold Schwarzenegger's body with somebody else's head, or his head and somebody else's body, right? So we had sort of our deep fake moment with stills, right? And this might have come up on social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook at the time. Then it got a little more complicated. It got into audio. So a lot of deep fakes with audio, because audio's not that hard to manipulate. But now it's a whole different ball game. So last year, before I deleted my TikTok account, I saw a lot of videos of Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise golfing, Tom Cruise drinking a Chardonnay. And they were kind of obnoxious, actually, these TikTok videos. And I was like, ugh. But I bought the fact that it was Tom Cruise. And it was only really recently when I was looking into all this deep fake stuff, and it's really coming up in the news now, that I saw that it was completely fake. There was an actor who has the same kind of facial structure as Tom Cruise. He can have the same mannerisms, and they were churning out these videos with him sort of, he's linked up with an AI company to create videos like this.
Hey, listen up, sports and TikTok fans. If you like what you're seeing, just wait till what's coming next.
So this is really scary. And I know that we all think, AI, so cute. But the ramifications of this could be really quite dire. Apart from the fact that election campaigns could be influenced, now they can put out fake interviews with Joe Biden or Donald Trump, and it isn't them. And the thing is that a lot of people, especially those that buy into conspiracy theories, they're buying into these deep fakes, even though, it may look like Joe Biden, it may look like Donald Trump. Those of us who have kind of an analytical brain would look at this and go, you know what, this is probably not something that they would say. But for those 50% Americans who do believe in the great conspiracy, this sort of stuff is going to fuel them. So it has the potential to really turn society upside down. On another scale, there are so many facets to this. So for instance, predators online, child predators, right? For years and years, there have been predators on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram who are targeting children, and they have fake profiles, and, they are targeting these kids. And, the government is trying to keep up. They're trying to track them through, IP addresses, but it's going to get more complicated, right? Because if they can tap into this AI, the reality will seem even more real. And it will fuel these predators. And that's scary, right? You may have heard in the US that both the writers in the film industry and now actors are on strike. Why? Because of all the streaming services not paying people properly. But what's happening now is that actors, not that so much the main actors, but sort of sub actors in a scene, are having to sign contracts that say, you know what, now you're able to use my image from now until eternity. So they can take this person, they can pay them once, and they can take this person's image and voice and likeness and recreate it through AI into other scenes, for other scenes in a TV show or in a movie or other movies, and not pay the actors. So obviously, of course, this is completely unethical, but this is the way that we're going. You know, and when I think about it, another area, for instance, are scams against the older population. For decades, we've had phone scams, right? Those have not gone away. So, you know, it could be anything. It could be somebody phoning up saying, you know, your life insurance policy has run out. You need to sign this documentation. Or they get more elaborate where they say they're a friend of their granddaughter or grandson, and the friend is, well, this person's now in hospital, they need some money transferred, etc., etc. But those scams are also going to get more elaborate as AI becomes more accessible. Right now, it's still, I think, the really good AI in terms of video and likeness is still only accessible to a few. I mean, you can get apps on your phone and stuff like that, but you can tell that, you know, it might be your lips moving, you know, with another image. So it's not bad, but it's not completely convincing, right? But as we go, you know what? Give it a year, give it 2 years. This technology is going to go leaps and bounds and will be more and more accessible to the daily user. Now, here's the thing, and I've been talking about this with, for instance, Google and Facebook, who here in Canada are going to be locking us out of news content because they don't want to pay news outlets. And the government, you know what, doesn't really know what to do. Why? Because they don't really understand the technology. I think it's the same with AI. AI is going forward in leaps and bounds. And I think governments don't know what to do about it. And it's scary. Because, okay, so say here in North America, say the Canadian government or the American government put certain restrictions on AI development, blah, blah, blah. But in Dubai or in India, for instance, they don't put those restrictions. So developers can continue to develop these technologies. So what does that mean? I mean, again, I don't mean to be alarmist, but I hear this, I listen to, you know, the BBC News, Canadian news. I'm not into conspiracy theories. I try and get my news from fairly objective news sources, but this stuff keeps coming up again and again. And I think it's getting a little scary. So what do you think? I want to know, again, you know, what you think of our current predicament, you know, that now they can reproduce actors and politicians and make it believable if they want to. And sure, this could be entertaining on TikTok.
I'm going to show you some magic. It's the real thing. I I mean, it's all the real thing.
Or it could be used for other purposes. So give me a shout. Let me know if you saw those Tom Cruise things on TikTok and what you thought of them, if you actually thought it was Tom Cruise. Okay. I'm taking it a little slow this summer because, it's nearly August. So I'm putting out fewer videos, but, I'll probably ramp up in the fall. Leave some comments and I will catch you next time.